Hey y'all, I got done watching Cobra Kai, Part 2, Season 6. I wouldn't even watch it today, but I made the mistake of forgetting about that I didn't watch it, and that I'm in a few Cobra Kai groups. So I saw something, nothing specific or anything, but I just saw something that made me think, oh yeah, I should watch the show before I get really spoiled. So I did. Cobra Kai has come a long way since, I guess it was 6, 8 years ago, 9 maybe, when it was on YouTube Red. Because it started off as a YouTube Red exclusive, and then it gained popularity. I think in Season 3 or Season 4, one of the two, it gained so much popularity that, first of all, YouTube Red changed to YouTube Premium, and I don't even know if they're doing originals anymore. But also, it got so popular that Netflix bought the rights. So, what I'm saying is, Cobra Kai changed a lot in those 7 years since it was on YouTube Red. And not always was a better either. I think it's most evident in this part of Season 6, at least for me, because, and don't quote me on this, because I don't know precisely if this is what happened, but at the beginning of Season 6, I was going to say it's the beginning of Season 6 Part 2, but really it's the beginning of Season 6. They set out the rules for the Sakai Takai, which is a big tournament, and the funny thing is it's not even in Japan. I was gonna say it's in Japan, but it's in Belarus or something. It's on the tip of my tongue, but I just can't remember where it was. But something like that. So, in Season 6, they set out the rules for the Sakai Takai. Or maybe it's in the ad half of Season 6, I don't remember. But the point is, in Season 6, they set out the rules for it. They set out rules that, he was training all his team, all his dojo. Daniel and Johnny were training all their dojo for Sakai Takai, only to find out that for the first time ever, they were doing it completely different. Because it's funny they say for the first time ever, because it's the first time we've ever heard about it. I mean, they won in the original movies, it was about up to, which it kind of was. But they say for the first time ever, they're gonna do best 16 against best 16 against best 16 and so forth, so on like that. So, they get down to the best 16 or best 7. I'm pretty sure it's best 16. But yeah, it doesn't really matter at the end of the day. Because what they do when they get there is they're all there, and then they have other like qualifying matches for the final, like team exercises, like whatever team wins gets points and is qualified to move moves up the leaderboard, however you want to say it. Which is funny because I'll just say this now. I'm pretty sure Miyagi-Do got every event they were in to be able to qualify for the finals, yet they were still somehow in the finals. Maybe I missed something, but that's what I got from it. I'm pretty sure they got all their matches that still made it to the finals. But my point is they say it's the best 16, but then break that down even further, So I think Netflix probably has something to do with that. I don't think this was the original plan for what they had set forth. I don't know if the Sakai Takai was always a part of that, but I'm 99% sure this was the original plan for it. What Netflix like to do, and what's been happening, is they like to give us Cobra Kai episodes in 8 episode chunks, and because it's so popular, obviously they want to spread it out as much as possible. It's coming up on the final 8 episodes, however many episodes there are to finally finish this thing. But yeah, because of Netflix and how they do things, I'm pretty sure they haven't stretched out the story for as long as possible, even if some of it doesn't make any sense. And I'll get into that. I'm not going to go over the show beat for beat because honestly I just don't want to. And also, what did happen, I can summarize really broadly. Yeah, I can summarize in good chunks. You can watch the show if you want to, but I think I'm pretty well gonna summarize it for you. So they arrive at where the Sakai Takai is being held. They arrive there, which a reminder, Devin on the team, a reminder from season 6, Devin only got on the team because he cheated. And I didn't think that was going to be brought up, and it's kind of brought up, but the way it's resolved just irritates me. Add to so many other things with this half of the season. But yeah, they get to where they're fighting, and it's announced, we're gonna break things up. We're gonna do bet 8 and the bet 4 and tag team matches, and whoever gets the captain out, the team out, team versus team, that captain's a flag basically. Whoever gets the team out gets the most points, which, if you get high enough, I don't know if points even matter at that point, no pun intended, but they do it that way. The most irritating part of this season to me was Dimitri. At the start of season 6, part 2, Dimitri's not at the very start, obviously, but Dimitri's like the instigator in the mistrust amongst the group. And like, Dimitri, why are you even here? Oh, that's why you're here. You're here to spread mistrust and try to divide the group, try to cause unnecessary drama. Which, to be fair, I know why they're doing that, but it's really irritating. And I know I'm not the only one who feels that way. I know I'm not. But you get, eventually, I gotta say something about this. There's a team we've never seen before. A team we've never fought before. There's Cobra Kai and Miyagi-Do, obviously, but a team we've never seen, a team we've never saw before, called the Iron Dragons. I'm sorry I'm not on this either. They was a standout of this show. I mean, I didn't expect them to win, cause the show just been focused on Cobra Kai and Miyagi-Do. I mean, they could have won. That'd be a nice little swerve, a nice little diversion. And unlike the Jedi, it could have actually worked. But I don't think I'm alone to say the Iron Dragons, they were the standout of this season. They were just no nonsense, just brutal, just tough. And I want to talk about this too. Something that actually surprised me. Something that had my head in my hands one moment, but really surprised me how they handled it. So the number one fighter of the Iron Dragon, I can't remember his name, but he was awesome. Well, they all were, but him in particular. He's training with the sensei, and he makes a couple mistakes, and the sensei punches him, beats on him, not severely or anything, but he beats on him and says, "Oh, what did you do wrong? Do you know what you did wrong?" And but the thing that got me is Sam Russo see that? Which, if you know anything about Sam Russo, he's got to be just a goody-goody. He's drama and all that, and take that all the way to Myung a lot of times. But Sam sees this. Sam sees this sensei. I thought they were kind of calling it abuse. I was calling it abuse. I was making fun of it. I was saying, "Oh no, there's no place for abuse in karate. Call the sensei, call the judges, and get this thrown out. And a whole drama filled tirade can come out of this and all that." But no, they don't do that. Basically, what happens is he just sees it and sees the sock, but he just walks away basically for the most part. He just walks away. So that was very refreshing. That was very. There's, like I say, there's a lot of other irritating parts that I'm gonna get to, but that was refreshing. That was refreshing to see her do that. So in the games, in the tournament basically, I said that Cobra Kai didn't win a single, Miyagi-Do. I'm getting Cobra Kai and Miyagi-Do confused now. That's not the first time I've done that. But I mentioned before that Miyagi-Do doesn't win a single fight in the qualifying rounds and somehow still make it to the finals. They only use, which I won't say they only use because of this, but the show makes it kind of clear that they want you to think that they only use because of drama, because they're paying attention to the girlfriends and boyfriends and best friends and betrayals and everything. So that's why they use. Like I say, I'm not meaning it the way it sounds. Like the other teams were great. It's not like Miyagi-Do was dominating anyway and then got distracted. They got distracted and then they just yawned. But it is to me that what the show that's what it felt like so is portraying. Like they own the yacht because of drama, because of mistrust and all that. And Daniel and Johnny still can't get along. I mean, it's not as bad as it was in previous seasons, I'll grant it, but Daniel and Johnny still can't get along. Daniel talks about balance. He needs to find a balance between himself and Johnny. There's an easy way to do that. But, and I know why they don't, because if they just take the easy way of doing things, I mean, half the show wouldn't even happen. Because half the show is just based on misunderstandings. It seems like. But yeah, for the sake of drama, they do that. It's not, honestly, it's not that big of an issue, but it's noticeable and it was irritating. Cause it was really noticeable and it was irritating, cause yeah, come on guys, you're both adults, you're both in your 40s, just sit down and talk about it like rational adults. No karate, no insult, just talk about it like rational adults. But no, they don't do that. And in the first start of the games, the first start of the qualifying matches, preliminary round, I'm gonna call them. Daniel and Johnny just talk over each other, give completely different instructions. Daniel is all about defense, take it slow. And Johnny is all about, we need some points. We need some points. To be fair, he's right. They do need some points. The kids need to get aggressive. I know they can be more aggressive than that. I've seen it. We've all seen it. But they don't, and because of that, they end up blaming their senseis, which doesn't really make any sense either, because your sensei can tell you something, but that doesn't mean you have to do it. I mean, especially in a tournament setting like that, if you're in a situation that requires a different strategy, and your sensei tells you one thing, and that one thing not working, then switch to the other thing. But they don't do that, and they end up blaming their sensei. They end up saying, we ought because of you. We ought because of you. Yeah, no, you. Yeah, for example, Sam says there's a qualifying round where the kids have to balance on the balance beam. Which, it's funny, the first two things suit Daniel and Johnny to a T, just completely opposite. So the kids are involved in a balance beam karate exercise, and Daniel's not there. Daniel gets called away. There's a whole subplot with Miyagi that I'll get to when I get to, but Daniel's not there, and they're down on points because they already lost the first round decisively. So they need some points. And Johnny like, you need points, you need to be aggressive and all that. But after it's finished, Sam tells him, if my dad if Daniel was a dad, by the way, for anyone who forgot, if my dad was here, we would have never yelled that. He would have said balance and everything. Kid, you could still do the balancing regardless of what Johnny says. Like I say, especially in a tournament setting like that, you can't have to do things on the fly. But they don't do that. And they end up using the next round too. There's 3 or 4 things, and they use all of them. What I'm gonna talk about now. The Kenny thing. Yeah, Kenny Kenny being eliminated from the consideration for the competition because he was met with. That was brought up. And I'm happy that was indeed brought up, but the way it was resolved was kind of irritating. Because what happened with that is, first of all, the only reason, which this is a good lead in, into the next part, I didn't think about this, but the only reason Kenny's even considered back, and that whole thing actually even gets resolved, is that Johnny and Miguel have to rush back home to check on their mom, because something happened with her pregnancy. I guess labor or something that happens sometime that I don't know all the medical terms. But they have to go away. They have to leave. And because the tournament would be down Miguel and the team would be down a player, they need Kenny. Johnny said to Daniel's wife, I forget her name too, but Johnny said to Daniel's wife, get in touch with the guy named Kenny and tell him that we need him. And they do. And, well, he does. But before that, another irritating thing. Right after they use the second round. I don't know about right after, but after they use the second round, Devin comes to Johnny, and Devin says, "Oh, I just want to win so bad. I just wanted to prove myself to you, and so I ended up doing something really bad. I ended up cheating." Yeah. Johnny doesn't even get on to her. I mean, Johnny doesn't kick her out. Johnny doesn't say it was a grace. No. Johnny hugs her, and Johnny says, "Oh, I made mistake too. It's okay. I made mistake too. I'm not gonna ride you out. I'm gonna trust you I'm gonna trust you on what you wanna say. 'Cause no, this girl just admitted cheating and cheating out a very deserving black belt for fighting this Vegeta tournament. So what you need to do is send her back home and pay for Kenny's trip here, so we can get this whole thing sorted out." But that doesn't happen. Instead, Daniel's wife goes to Kenny to go to his house, and funny thing is, I don't know if they met before. They probably have, but well, actually, I know they have because Kenny's worked with them before. But it's just funny how this all played out, and I did remember that. So what happened is, Daniel's wife goes to Kenny, and she talks, "Hey Kenny, we need you. Your friends need you in Japan. Like, go, just calm down, introduce yourself, and tell them what's going on. Rationally. You don't have to unload into so big, unload in the middle of a sentence. But yeah, they already know each other, so that's my bad." So she told him, "Oh, they need you, Kenny. They need you up at Sakai Tai." I don't know. I'm not sure if he told them what's going on with Daniel and Johnny. Considering what happened later on, I don't think he does, which is kind of weird. Which wouldn't he want to know why this whole thing came about? But anyway. So she told them that they need him, and he told her no. Not after what her son put him through. And At this point, I just tapped my head in my hands again. This was irritating, but honestly, it didn't go that young like I thought it would. It wasn't as irritating as I thought it'd be. And he told her, no, not after what your son put me through. No, he made me throw on my pants. Not after what he put me through. Not after the boy he's in. So the mother doesn't know about any of this. The mother goes home and pulls up the video. Him and her and her son. I remember his name, but I can't think of it right now. But he and her and the son watch a video because it's already uploaded on YouTube. What happened? Because so they watch this video, and the mother behaves not knowing anything at all, not knowing about the boy, not knowing about anything. She just behaves them. She just says, "Oh, you gotta fix it. You gotta fix it. You did it. I can't believe you would do something like this. I can't believe it." And he says, "No, I didn't do this. It was funny. He laughed, but I didn't do this." But the mother just goes, "Oh yeah, you did. You're lying." And one of the most irritating things to me is said here. So he tried to defend himself. Anthony, that's his name. Anthony tried to defend himself, and by saying, "Oh, he was a boy to me. He was a boy to me too." And the mother says, "We're not keeping score, Anthony. Completely ignoring him. Just ignoring him. Just throwing that out the window." And yeah, like I say, it wasn't as irritating as I thought it would be. It definitely wasn't as irritating as it could have been. But that would just, why would you do that? Why would you say that? But, so she makes them go over to Kenny's house. They go together and makes them apologize. And of course he tried to defend himself to Kenny. He tried to say, "Oh, look, I didn't do that, man. I didn't do that." And then something happened. I don't know why, but Kenny ended up punching him. And the mother doesn't see this. The mother's just looking at her phone. Anthony defended himself by punching him back, by blocking or something like that. And that's what the mother sees. So at this point I had my head in my hands again, and the mother goes to break the boy up, and the mother says, "Oh, look, you two, some people have real problems. Like right now, Daniel and Johnny had to go away to check on Carmen because he's had some complications with the pregnancy." And she said, "Yeah, some people have real stuff going on," which I thought was a relief, because like I say, this part could have been way more irritating than it was, and it was irritating for what it was, but it was a detailed quickie. So the mother separates them. The mother gives a speech about, when you've got to use the battle to win the war, when you've got to come forward and apologize, all that. Anthony just leaves. I like that there's not an apology there. Anthony just jeeps. But apparently sticking with this plotline for a little bit. Apparently, the mother just stays at Kenny's house all day into the night, and next time we see on him, they're just talking on the porch, and it looks like it's night anyway. I don't know if it is, but it looked like night when we first saw it. But then Anthony walks up, and it looks, well, no, I was gonna say it looked like day, but I guess it was still night. So Anthony walks up. I guess Anthony and her stayed for a while. Like Anthony maybe was too far to walk by himself. I don't know, but I guess they both just stayed for a while. I don't know why. Maybe so the next part could happen. That's the most logical thing. But Kenny and her talk for a while, and honestly, through the drama part more, I just round through because I'm like, oh, more drama. That's what the show needs, is more drama. In the so-called Cobra Kai, famed for karate and butt-kicking action, you need drama. You need all the drama you can get. So they talk for a minute, and Anthony comes up to him, and he says, hey, look, man, I swear on my app it wasn't me, but I can see why you thought it was. And I like that. Like, he said it wasn't me, which it wasn't, but I could see why you thought it was. Like, I thought it was Anthony before I knew it was Devin. I don't guess I really know who it was, but I guess Anthony was on top of my head. I don't know. I forget if Devin is revealed at the beginning of the qualifying thing for Sakai Tai Captain Fiag, but I don't know. Anyway, he comes up and says, hey, I'm sorry, man. Yeah, bygone be bygone, basically. I'm sorry. And he drinks laxative, basically, which that's his way of calling the truth to the situation. And Anthony just got home. We don't see, well, I mean, that's the end of, we see him at the end of the part, but that's the end of that plot line. So Kenny, well, what happened before is Devin calls Kenny when he's in the middle of Anthony's apology, calls Kenny and tells him, I assume, I miss this, but I assume she told him that it was her that she sabotaged Kenny, I assume, which Kenny didn't tell. I'm not 100% sure about that, actually, because he didn't tell Anthony about that. I don't think he did, actually, on second thought. I didn't hear it as he didn't, based on how the red scene played out. So Kenny ended up flying the way they are in the guy tie. And just to finish up this plot line, Kenny and Devin meet. I guess off screen, Devin called Kenny again and tells him that she sabotaged him, and he just forgives her. He forgives her. He just forgives her like that. No grudges, no. He says, oh, you've always been cool to me. I forgive you. I forgive you for that. Like, come to think of it, I know it happened now, and it makes this next part even more irritating. But he just forgives her. He just forgets her, and they're all chummy together and everything. So finishing up that PI line for now. I'm kind of going out of order, but the next PI line I bring up is Daniel and Mr. Miyagi. Well, more specifically, Mr. Miyagi and the Sekai Tai. So apparently in season 6 we also learned that Miyagi competed in the Sekai Tai. He was again tournament fighting, he told Daniel, but he competed in Sekai Tai. I'm like, yeah, he was young. We all do things when we're young that we don't particularly recommend when we get older. But anyway, just thread out a plot. But anyway, Daniel apparently told about the sky. He told about the sky at some dinner for the sensei. He told about the sensei that may know something about Mr. Miyagi competing in Sekai Tai. So he goes out to find him. And it's a good thing too, because right before he goes up, Johnny and him get into an argument. So he needs to go off for a while anyway. He gets this letter about this master, about this reclusive master who hasn't shown himself. He gets this letter that he can meet him. So Daniel drive, I think it's Louise is where they were. I can't remember if I said that, but I'm pretty sure Louise, something like that. Which, sorry, that was just bugging me. But, so he goes up to find him. And I did hear this part. He meets this kid. He meets this boy. He doesn't speak English. He speaks Spanish. They speak Spanish over there. But, he meets this boy. And he gives him a key. And on the back of the front of it, one or the other, it's a depiction of Jesus Christ. And I just yell that, because I'm a pastor first and foremost, so I just yell that. I mean, I know Christianity is, I don't know about as big as it was, but it's big in Spanish-speaking countries and all that. So, maybe that's just what happened, but in any case, I yelled that. So he's given a key with Jesus Christ on the back. A depiction of Jesus Christ, anyway. And he goes to this gate to try to get in, but he's hit in the back of the Cobra, and it knocks him out. And maybe there's a way that can happen, but I mean, if someone gets hit in the back with the Cobra, and gets to the back of the head, that I can believe. But if someone gets hit in the back with the Cobra, especially like that, because this wasn't like a brutal hit or anything, they're not going to be knocked out. Maybe they would if you hit them in just the right spot, and yet you do that, and even if that, maybe not, they're not going to be knocked out from that. So that was just kind of yaffle to me. But, because Daniel was supposed to be this great karate master, but he's knocked out by a crowbar to the back. Not even in the back of the head, just the back. And I'm like, yeah, that sort of made me laugh a bit. But Daniel wakes up. and Daniel wakes up in a cage surrounded by dogs. The dogs aren't in the cage with him. The dogs are in separate cages. I don't know why. But, well, I know why the dogs are in separate cages. I just don't know why dogs are there. Like, I don't know what they do. But Daniel wakes up in a cage, and rightfully, he's mad at being trapped in a cage and being hit in the back with a Cobra, as one would be, hopefully. But he goes, oh, there's been a mistake, I'm an American. There's a mistake, which maybe by that he meant he's not some rival gang member or something, because I know gangs are big up there too. But he goes, oh, I'm an American, there's been some mistake. And basically, I'm just gonna fast forward a little bit through this, because not a lot happens. He looks at he's trapped for the remainder of the second round of the tournament. And he looked down at the depiction of Jesus Christ on the key, and he says, not even you can help me now. But then he realizes that the key can be used for the lock on the cage. So I yelled that too. I'm like, oh yes he can. There's nothing that Jesus Christ cannot do. But the boy, we don't see, come think of it, we don't see the boy again. It makes me wonder what he knew, but anyway, that's just the old side that I just thought of. But Daniel gets out of the cage, he uses the key, he fights with one of the, just briefly, he fights with one of the guys, and he says, oh, next time, feed your dog. And he lets the dog out, and the dog pounces on the guy. And Daniel just leaves. I mean, like, okay, he dead. Daniel just yapped someone for dead. which was good. He just yapped him. He just yapped him for death, which was funny to think about. But then Daniel fights another guy. Assuming he's a black belt in karate, because basically everyone is a black belt in karate on the show. No hate towards them. It's just funny that every single one of these people, even the kids, even the teenagers, are black belts somehow. Yeah, karate takes years and years. It takes years upon years to get a black belt. You can't just get one. So it's just funny how that worked out. Like, even the kids are black belts. Which the kids are good, no disrespect to them, but even they're black belts. So anyway, he finds someone, presumably to be a black belt, and he notices he has a Cobra Kai symbol on an arm. He has a snake tattoo on an arm. So the fight goes on for Yoyangi. He realizes he's Cobra Kai. Then he knocks him out. He doesn't end up finding this master anyway, which I wonder if that'll be a plot point for next season. Or the next part of season 6. I don't know. Well, I think this actually may be season 7. Yeah, I'm pretty sure this may actually be season 7 we're going into, not season 6 part 3 is season 7 we're going into. So he gets out of there, and he gets back to the hotel, the venue, the place where they're having the tournament, and he runs into Chris, and Chris is taunting him. By now we all know that Chris has something to do with it. He's basically telling us without telling us, how some people do, you know. But Daniel just pushes them up against the wall, just throws them up against the wall. I'm like, crazy at him do that. Crazy at him do that. Crazy. There was enough time for him to block, for him to defend himself. He had him do that. And he fights with well, not he doesn't fight with anyone. He gets Sam sees him. Sam sees him with Kreese, and Sam's like, "Oh, where were you? Oh, I was it." And Dingle says, "Oh, it was a young story. I took a taxi. It was a wild goose chase. Basically, it was a young story." So so he apologizes. He apologizes for not being there. And on to the next point, which is influential to the next part we're going into. So with Miguel and Johnny, Miguel's mad at Johnny for some reason. Yeah, doesn't think he's paying him enough attention or encouraging him or whatever have you. I don't know. It's just more unnecessary drama about the Yugs and about the sound of it. And Miguel's probably stressed out too because of his mother and the baby and everything. So I'm gonna tag that onto him too. But to the airport, they're on the plane, and I'm gonna kind of speed run through this too because nothing got happened in this either. Then, so Miguel and him on the plane, and they start getting into an argument. They start getting into an argument because Miguel feels yapped out and everything, and like replaced by Robbie basically. So a stewardess comes up and he's like, "Oh, is this man bothering you? Is this man bothering you?" And Miguel says yes. Johnny said no, but Miguel said yes. He takes the kid's word instead of the older man's word, which if I went up position, I'd do that too. But would come on, so he didn't know the details. He was just doing what he thought was right, which what any one of us would do in that situation if a kid told us they're uncomfortable with a near 40-year-old man sitting next to us. So Miguel goes in first cast. Miguel goes up first cast, and Johnny, I told you I'm gonna kind of speed run through this. This is me speed running. Johnny goes up to see Miguel. Well, he tried to. He tried to go up to see Miguel. He pops his head in the first cast, like, Miguel, I need to talk to you. And to the stewardess's credit, too, she's one of my, come to think of it, they may be one of my favorite characters, too. Don't have a name, but they may be one of my favorite characters, too. So to stewardess's credit, he talks to stewardess and he says, "Oh, I just need to talk to my son. His mother's in the hospital, his mother's sick. I need to make sure he's okay." So the stewardess goes to him, and the stewardess presumably or do you ask to talk to your dad? He's very worried about you. Miguel said no. So the stewardess does a job. Stewardess says, "Oh, you need to go back to your seat. I already asked him about that. He said he doesn't want to talk to you. So you need to go back to your seat." And this guy, kind of running themes of subplot too. This guy comes up, this kind of novelty, not really novelty, but so want to portray it as such, so he's novice. This guy talks, this novice guy talks to him all, and he says, "Yeah, go back to the old cat, go middle class way beyond. Go back to, well, coach, yeah, that's what I'm looking for. Go back to coach. Go back to where you belong. First class is for third class people. You don't belong here. And the dog like, oh, you wanna go? You wanna go? And I'm like, bro, he could kill you with one move of his finger. Yeah, you do not want to mess with this guy. Especially in the state that he's in right now, you do not want to mess with Johnny. So Johnny goes back to coach, and well, presumably he goes back to coach. What we see later on, which I'm going to talk about right now, he does really go back to coach. He hides yeah, next to Miguel in a sombrero or big or sun hat or something. I don't know how he pulls it off, but he's like right next to Miguel. He's hiding his face with the hat and everything, and him and Miguel talk. Talk about things. This whole season could have solved half these problems. Could have been solved with communication, but it wouldn't be nearly as entertaining as so. But him and Miguel talk. Miguel apologizes. Miguel says, "Oh, I'm just so worried about my mom. I'm just worried about her." And Johnny says, "You know, I'm worried about her too. I'm worried about her too. You're my son. I'm worried about both of you. I love both you and Robbie. I'm sorry. I didn't think you needed my support as much as Robbie did. Robbie's been off his game. Miguel's been kicking it. But apparently, Miguel needed Johnny's support too, apparently. So they make up. This knob comes up to them again. He said to Johnny, what don't you understand? What don't you understand about? You belong back there, and I belong up here. And basically, you want to go. And he starts gearing up for a fight. Miguel is actually the one who stands up. I think this guy calls him old or something. Or something like that. And Miguel actually is the one that stands up and pops them in the nose, pops them in the forehead. Whatever he does, he virtually knocks this guy out, basically. Or at least that's what it looked like to me. I don't know if that's what it actually was, but we see this guy go down and he doesn't get back up. So, maybe he's just temporarily knocked out. I don't know. Or semi-knocked out. Semi-unconscious, I don't know. But Miguel and Johnny, since the stewardess says, oh, if you engage in any vines whatsoever, I'm going to have to call the captain. So Miguel engaged in vines. So they're driven to the hospital by a cop car. I don't know if they have to make an emergency landing or whatever. Probably not, because they're going to the same place anyway. It'd be kind of pointless. But they're driven to the hospital in a cop car. And the cop apologizes, the cop sympathizes with them about this guy, which, again, I don't know what this guy did that was so wrong, but the cop sympathized with him about this guy, basically. And they go inside, Miguel and Johnny do, go inside the hospital. And Miguel, and they ask, oh, Carmen, where is he? And the secretary goes, oh, she's in room 412. And that's all they get the chance to say. To her credit, she does say, wait, I've got more to say, basically. But they're already off and running, and they come into the room, they see blood on the mattress and everything, and there's an older woman, supposed to be, she speaks Spanish, but there's an older woman there. and they're asking her, "Oh, Carmen, what happened to the woman who was in the bed? What happened to Carmen?" She just doesn't answer them. You can't say she doesn't. You can't say she doesn't understand them. Both Carmen and Johnny Nunez Johnny Nunez and Miguel in Spanish. They both act because he just doesn't answer. I don't know why he just doesn't answer. Probably to build up more drama, I know, but in the world of Cobra Kai, in their universe, he just doesn't answer for whatever reason. So Miguel breaks down to Johnny's arm. Miguel says, "Oh, he says he'd be okay. He says he'd be okay." And for a split second, I was thinking, oh my, did they actually kill Carmen and her baby? Did they kill them off? Is Johnny gonna have to raise him and Robbie alone? I mean, he has a great support network with Daniel and his family, but is Johnny gonna have to raise these boys alone? Well, basically, it's not like they're babies or anything. They're almost full-grown men going into college. But still, you get my point. So Miguel breaks down, and Carmen comes in. Carmen comes in with the baby. Carmen comes in, basically says, or hi, or something, whatever she says. And Miguel just tugs her. They're both just embracing each other. They meet the baby. She has the little baby. They have the little baby in her arms. And the doctor explains it was touch and go, and we were worried. So it doesn't seem like this was OEA, but it was some other kind of medical problem. But the doctor says basically it was touch and go, and we were worried for a while. But he's a fighter. He's okay. All of vitals look normal and everything. So that was good for what it was. But at the end of the thing, I'm just like, okay. I know this was just, which is funny because this whole thing was just a plot line to get Kenny back. What they needed to happen, because Kenny wouldn't have come back and yes, Miguel was out of the tournament. So they needed him to get out of the tournament. It is temporary. And Carmen like, none of the boys, they'll never get met with if her brother's the karate world champion. And Carmen encourages him to go, which is a big step because originally Carmen wasn't fond of Miguel fighting, doing karate. So this is a big step for her, just telling him to go back to the tournament, telling him that they're fine and they need him, their team needs him and everything. So they go back. They get back fairly quickly too. But a little aside that I forgot to mention. What happened after well, I'll get to that when I get to it actually. So Johnny and Miguel come back. And they're in the hotel room and they're like, okay, he's got to whoop some butt. And they're all down the deck. Because of this specific reason. Because a few, which I'll talk about that in a minute. It's just funny how it worked out. I'll talk about that in a minute. But they're all in down mood for one specific reason. Because Chris came back. And we found out, to just wrap up this plot line, we found out that Chris is actually the one who hired the guys, and maybe for the note too, to trap Daniel in the cage. I don't know what his goal was, maybe to keep him there for the remainder of the tournament. I don't know, but he trapped Daniel. He pays these guys off, and one of them is the eater of the iron dragons. The eater. I go more than that. There's more how those two connect. But I'll go more into that in a minute. So, a few days before, or like a night before, Sensei, I don't know what her name is, the woman Sensei, I don't know what her name is, I forget, but, her and Chosen, which essential to the plot line too, Chosen been going through a really hard time. Chosen picked up a flower for the other of the eye, for the supposed other of the eye, but he found out she was with somebody else. Cause realistically, she wouldn't have waited on that dude for years on end. She would have found somebody else. So he's broken up about it. He's broken hearted to come to one of the ceremonies, one of the dinner drunk. He breaks pants. He does all that. So, Chosen in a bad place. The night before this happens, Hawk comes up to Chosen and he says, okay, we all need to dress, all of Cobra Kai need to dress. Is it okay if we hit the town tonight? And Chosen goes, only if you hit it hard. Cause he's not in the right frame of mind. If he was in the right frame of mind, he probably would say, okay, but nothing too wild. Okay, you can't. I understand, but you can't do that. Just play ping pong or do something around here or something. Yeah, like that. Something else to dress. But they go out on the town. And Chosen in the skull, this woman Sensei, sorry, I cannot remember her name. Chosen and her go in here for the kids, and they confront. This may be the funniest part of the military to me. They confront some guys. This woman confronts some guys, and see that. Okay, have either of you seen some teenagers with a third with a snake emblem on the back or tattoos or whatever? So he goes, yeah, I've seen them. Only and I'll tell you about him only if you are out with me. Only if you had me take you back to my place or whatever. So he goes, think you can handle me? Oh, I know I can handle you. And she goes for his arms. He has him in the armbar, and then Chosen has the guy. Then Chosen popped out from out of nowhere, and Chosen has the guy by the neck, and they both say, the woman, she says, you tell him where they are, I'll break your arm. And Chosen says, you tell her where they are, I'll break your neck. And I just thought that was so funny because they basically have them in the no situation if there's any other situation, but they end up saying it at the same time. So neither of them get their arm broken or the neck broken respectively. But that was just really funny to me. I mean, you have to watch it. I didn't do it justice probably. But, so, Chosen is going to a bar. They, in a bar next. And, they get into a bit of a fight. They say, oh, he can't take me. They get into a bit of a fight. And I expected it to go this way. I think we all did, given where they were, but they end up kissing. They end up kissing, and they end up spending the night together, if you know what I mean. And the next morning, the woman says, "Oh, from now on, it'll be completely professional. It just happened that one time." Well, Joseph says, "Well, twice if you count the morning." And Chosen notices a guy with Cobra Kai tattoo on his arm, which is the same guy who had Daniel trapped in that cage. And he questions her about it. She says, "Oh, I never knew. I didn't know about him. I've never seen him." And Joseph says, "But Chris has." And so he goes to confront him. I don't think we see him confront him. Yeah, we just see him off screen do that, I guess. So he does that. Or maybe he doesn't confront him at all, I don't know. He probably doesn't confront him at all. But he tells Daniel about it. And Daniel and Chris and her all meet up with Chosen. And they all... which at this point, we understand why Chris had Daniel hold him against the wall like that. Because he says, "I'm thinking about prison assault charges against you, because actions have consequences." So, I'm like, oh yeah, that's why he didn't do anything about it. And at some point, Chosen ended up calling him and the 80 Sensei's escapades. He ended up calling the affair a mistake, which obviously doesn't go well with her. It's not as dramatic as a kid, thank God, but it doesn't go well with her. So they end up confronting this guy together, this guy who held Daniel hostage, and they run upon Terry Silver. Terry Silver escaped from jail, but maybe posted bail. I don't know if he escaped. Posted bail would be more accurate, because he was a rich guy before he got into this karate stuff. So he's there. We find out he hired these guys. He hired these guys to mess with Daniel. We don't know why, but he hired these guys to mess with Daniel. And at this point, it looked like Chris is no longer with Silver, because if you remember, Silver framed Chris and got him sent to jail. So Terry isn't Chris's favorite person right now. In a matter of speaking. So they all band together. But at this point, that wraps up that plot line. But getting back to that whole Kenny thing, Dimitri is the only one who thinks this. Dimitri convinces everybody else this. That's why I said I don't react. Dimitri react. Why is he even here? Hate Dimitri. He shouldn't even be here. Not only is he irritating, but he's just not that good. The series portrays him as good because it had to, but he's not that good. Like, he's already a black belt. Like, how? Like, he cannot be, of all the kids that are black belt, his is the most unbelievable. But Dimitri Dimitri said something about Kenny. He says, oh, Silver's back. Silver came back, and then Kenny came back. How do we know he not a mole? How do we know he not a spy? Just no basis whatsoever. No basis. Just, it's going to be suspicious of people, but no basis whatsoever. He just convinces Hawk. Basically, Hawk's maybe the only one he convinces. But he convinces Hawk that with no evidence whatsoever that Kenny's a spy, Kenny's a mole. He convinces them of that. And there's some really unnecessary drama that goes on with them about that causes them to use subsequent matches, not attacking Kenny in, not asking for his help, calling him a spy, calling him a traitor. Next, so we get that pretty much wraps up that plotline for now. Well, one other thing that I guess really wraps this thing up. Miguel confronts Robbie. Miguel's had to been on Robbie's case, rightly so, because he's been distracted, so rightly so, but Miguel's been on Robbie's case, and Miguel apologized. Miguel says, oh, you can be a eater, you can be the eater we all need, you're the eater of this whole thing, you beat me for the honor, for captain's honor, you ride to the challenge when the opportunity called for it, you're ride to the challenge. So Miguel and Robbie are good now. Miguel and Robbie are good. And eventually, just to finish up this, decisively, Robbie, which, come to think of it, I thought this when I was watching too. They very publicly, Dimitri and Hawk very publicly call Kenny a traitor, call Kenny a spy, call Kenny a mole. I mean, why doesn't Robbie or Miguel step in and defend Kenny? Because Kenny's very close with both of them. He doesn't even really know Miguel. He doesn't even really know Dimitri Hawk that well. So why aren't they defending him? But it's just unnecessary drama. Like I say, if this was wrapped up by communication, this most of the thing would have happened. They would be on the same page and they would probably dominate. But eventually Robbie does make the right decision. He tags in Kenny, which none of them apologize. None of them apologize to Kenny for thinking he's a traitor, thinking he's a mole. When Kenny wins, which Kenny does win, by the way, but when Kenny wins the fight that he's in, they yipped him up on his shoulders, all buddy, and I mean, like, they never apologize. Like, they never apologize for any of this. But that's wrapped up. Now we move on to another thing. It's short, so I'm gonna piece through this too. But we move on to another thing. Samantha sees that the top student from Iron Dragon's training. He's got a shirt off because he's training. I think that made me draw the any old bit. Even though she does have a boyfriend, I think that kind of draws the any old bit. I don't want Samantha to be lying now. But Samantha comes across him training on the beach, and they talk for a while, and thankfully they don't bring up that abusive behavior, because it just be too much. It should be too much of a headache. But thank God they don't bring that up. But, so him and Samantha talk for a while, and he suggests, he asked maybe going for a walk. Maybe he can walk back with her to the hotel, because he was going back to the hotel anyway. So they do. And they get into a bit of a fight. It's a very brief fight, but they get into a bit of a fight, and they're talking, and at the end, this guy tried to kiss her, because remember, he doesn't know that they have a boyfriend. And Samantha's like, oh no, I'm sorry if you saw it, this was something else, but no, I have a boyfriend. Why would you do that? I have a boyfriend. I gotta go. I gotta get out of here. I gotta go. I'm like, go. You basically had him on. You made me not have tried to be doing that. But you did not tell him you had a boyfriend. You talked to him, you had a camaraderie together, you fought together. What did you expect him to do? What did you expect him to make out the situation? But, yeah, they has a boyfriend that gets mad at him, he gets mad at her, gets mad at her boyfriend, gets mad at her for having a boyfriend, apparently, which I guess that's more necessary drama. I don't think anything's gonna come of that either. He gets mad at her apparently for having a boyfriend. Maybe more specifically for eating him on, but I digress. So they go back to the hotel, and he goes back to the hotel, and they get in another qualifying match, and he basically sold checks a boyfriend who is Miguel, I want to say. Maybe Robbie, I'm pretty sure it's Miguel. Honestly, I don't know. I think with Miguel, but I don't know and I don't care. But I think with Miguel. He sold to checks Miguel, because he's mad at him apparently for being a boyfriend. Because they more unnecessary drama on this season. So he gets mad at her, and they go to fight. They go to fight each other in the final round. The qualifying matches, they go to fight each other. Miguel wins. It was awesome. If any of you watch wrestling, it was like what, more specifically AEW, it was like what Bryan Danielson and Will Ospreay did at Dynasty. They just come flying at each other, and Bryan just catches them with a knee. So yeah, it was like that. They just come flying at each other with offense, and Miguel catches them with a knee. Which basically means that Cobra Kai is out. Oh, no, I'm sorry. Did I make it seem like he fought one of the Iron Dragons? No, he fought Quan from Cobra Kai. So, with that, yes, I don't know how it works. Do not ask me, because the math doesn't add up from what I saw. But, with that, yes, on Cobra Kai's record, they're out of this tournament. They have to go home. Why? I'm not gonna think about it. Just gonna be mind-boggling. But why though? Okay, that's the thing I'm gonna say about it. So Cobra Kai is out of the tournament, and and the guy, and the head organizer, called all of them together, and at this point I'm 99% sure what's gonna happen. I'm 99% sure what he's gonna say is, okay, all the users, they get a second chance. Which is kind of what happens, but not really. What he says is a team basically been caught using performance-enhancing drugs, so they have to go home. And Cobra Kai is the next in line to them. Now, how does that make any sense at all? Because if Cobra Kai is that and then the final, then I'm not going to think about it. So Cobra Kai gets to the final because of technicality. And I was pretty sure it was, the Sensei of the Iron Dragons. Yeah, it was Sensei of the Iron Dragons. And I got worried for a minute because even now I'm pretty sure, I'll watch it back, but I'm pretty sure he says, okay, you need to go home, you're disqualified now, you need to go home. But we see him at the end of the tournament. I don't even care, I'm just thankful they end the tournament, because I love them. I don't even care about the math, not mathing. So Cobra Kai is in the tournament now against Miyagi-Do, and the round to qualify for the final round. I'm pretty sure it was supposed to be 6-for-6, but this is where it all kind of go to crap. Now it was kind of awesome what they did, but it was frustrating. So they go to the finals, but before that, one other thing you need to know. Dimitri's been constantly talking about MIT. He's been constantly talking about strategy and smart and everything. Basically, all MIT. Before what's supposed to be the final who'll be used the tournament. Before that, Miyagi-Do all get together, and Sam just says, this is the last time we're teaming together. So what? You don't even really seem to like each other anyway. You don't really seem to have that much of a bond with each other. That bond definitely hasn't been shown this part of the season. So why should I care about that? But Sam says, this could be this is the last time we're ever gonna team together. And they all hug, more specifically, Dimitri and Hawk, they both cry and they both say, I was just scared of you, my best friend, I'm sorry about talking about MIT, I'm sorry that you're such a better fighter than me, I'm sorry I shouldn't be here. Okay, maybe I added that part, but that would have been funny if that's what he said. But they all hug and everything, and the girls all start. Devin all starts to cry. I don't know why Devin is still here, to be honest, because he says these haven't taught Kenny. He should have been sent home, but as long as he wasn't really participating, which technically he does, but as long as he wasn't really participating, I guess it's fine. Robbie gives this big RP that, who are we? Miyagi-Do, who are we? Miyagi-Do, who are we? Miyagi-Do. Yeah, 'cause they all give this big, Robbie gives this big inspirational speech as a eater. And Daniel and Johnny are listening in. And Daniel says, okay, we had this big inspirational speech ready for you guys, but I'm pretty sure you got it handled. So I'm skipping over a thing or two because this video is already longer than I intended it to be. But they get to the final, they get to the climax of the show, and two fights happen. We don't even really get to see them, because what happened on these two fights is conversation. That's what we want to see. We want to see a conversation between Daniel and Sam and Troy and Hudson. Say that's what we want to see. We don't want to see fighting. We want to see a conversation. So they converse with each other, and it gets to the boys finish. I'm pretty sure I may have it screwed around. There may be one round yet to go. So anyway, they get to the final round, and we see a couple of fights or so before it all goes down the toilet. I mean, one of the guys is knocked into another guy, and he gets in his face, and he says, oh, you got a problem? Yes, go. They start throwing punches, the guy who was sent home, maybe it was just since he was sent home. The guy was sent home. The organizer tried to draw some order before it gets out of hand. But the guy who gets kicked out, he just kicks him in the face. I'm like, yeah, that's what I want to see. I want to see that guy just get that organizer, just get the crap beat out of him. So basically with no organizer, it's a free fall. They all get on the mat, they all start fighting. Obviously, I'm not going to go through this move for move because it's too much. But the main fights are the main thing I was paying attention to anyway. Kreese has a knife in his back pocket, and Kreese had every intention to kill Terry Silver. He had every intention to kill him, but another student, probably trying to make a name for himself, gets in his way, and Kreese just bulldozes over him. But in the process, so he goes backstage to confront Terry. He reaches into his back pocket. He says stuff, I don't know what he says, but he reaches into his back pocket, and it's gone. He's dropped it. He remembers, he rechases steps, and he figures he must have dropped it on the mat with all these kids around. It's not open, thankfully, because that would easily cut feet. But he had this knife that he accidentally dropped it on the ground. So Terry and Johnny, Terry and Kreese, they fight each other. Honestly, considering who both of those men are, and considering their reputations, I expected a yard more. This is only a 2-minute or 3-minute fight in a third with stuff, so I expect a yard more. But that's not really the point. So Kreese is beating up on, Terry's beating up on Kreese, and Johnny comes to save him. And Terry asks why. And Johnny says, because he's my father. And no, he doesn't say that. I don't know. I can't remember what he says. But Johnny and Creep starts fighting. And then the top student of Cobra Kai, Quan, he finds the knife. He opens it, and he has every intention to stab. Well, I don't guess anyone specific, to stab a bunch of people. He goes to stab a guy. Daniel sees this, and Daniel tried to get him, because Daniel sees a knife. No one else sees a knife. He has a concealed. Daniel sees a knife. So we go to try to stop him. And Quan and this guy, they just run at each other. Quan got every intention to stab this guy. I don't know exactly how this happened. Maybe just the way he ended. But Quan and this guy go running at each other. He has every intention to stab this guy. Does a spinning move, tries to do a spinning kick. The guy ducks it. Quan ends up stabbing himself in the chest and dying. Like I say, I don't know exactly how that happened. Maybe just the way the knife was angled. But you think he just puts the knife out that way to just catch himself. But he didn't do that. I guess it just happened too quickly. Sometimes you can't react at that few second at the spur of the moment. But he dies. Quan dies. And it's at this point, it's funny because it's at this point, not any other point, but at this point, the head organizer, who's now back on the feet, knocks out the guy who's kicked him. So the head organizer back on the feet says, cuts the feed now. Really not at any other point, just to that. I mean, I guess any publicity is good publicity, I guess, except that kind of publicity. So Quan dies, and the show ends. We're going into the final season. Like I say, I skipped a plot point or two, I imagine. It wasn't that important. I gave you just the basic rundown of the whole part 2 of season 6. So, yeah, like I say, it has some massive roadblocks. I definitely didn't enjoy the drama in this season. It has some really tough roadblocks, but overall it was good. But I just gotta say something before I forget. Who here remembers when Hawks was one of the best fighters on the entire show? And like this entire tournament, Hawk just goes out. Yeah, Hawk just goes out like an expletive. Basically, he just goes out like an expletive. He's not. I mean, we see Dimitri can beat him now. So that should bug me. But I've got to get off here. Thank you guys for listening. So I'll see you on the final season, probably. Thank you for listening.